guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It's Tuesday, which means it's time for a Duggar update. Well, no. Tuesday means Counting On is on tonight, and we will do a full recap tomorrow. But I wanted to do a quick video about something that happened in tonight's episode, which you will be airing tonight. It is currently available on the TLC website early. If you cannot wait until tonight, you can catch it on the TLC Go app on your phone or on TLC.com. But tonight's episode, they are celebrating Christmas, and in the Duggar house, you are only invited to Christmas if you are on the show. That's right. This family, I would not want my family to be on a reality show where, like, you're not on the show. Like, imagine being on a reality show and, like, your family's on the reality show, and then you leave the reality show, and then the family continues on the reality show, and then their lives just continue to go on, and then your life is erased from the family because you're not on the show. That's Jill Dillard's life. So Jill Dillard and Derek left in 2017 at their own choice, according to Derek, before the birth of their son Samuel. Derek has said that they decided to make the choice to leave because of not having the control within their own lives to make their own choices. They wanted a little bit more freedom in being able to do and pursue the opportunities that they wanted, as well as discussions about Jim Bob not paying them and an entirely too much control by him and control by the network in terms of how they could share their stories and share their lives. Now the family, the Dillards, the four of them, are embarking on an entirely new life. They have just sent their son to kindergarten. He actually went to his second day of kindergarten. Jill subtly shaded the family on Instagram by telling people that she felt at peace with her decision, and was grateful to those that had reached out to offer their support. I'm sure she got some pushback from her family about the choice to go to the public school world, but you know what? It's her life. It's her choice. So tonight's episode is Christmas. And we already know from last year, photos and the verbal dumping ground of Derek, all of this came to light, right? It was after the Christmas post when people were like, you're not there, what's going on? And that's when he unleashed. Well, tonight is the episode where we see the ugly sweater party along with a pageant. So they do their annual Christmas pageant. Now, I grew up in a Catholic home, and so when I was a baby, I was baby Gisette. That's what my mom said, baby Gisette, because I'm a girl. I couldn't be baby Jesus. I was like Gisette. That's what she said. I'm sorry. Anyways, I was in a Christmas pageant at my mom's church growing up. Anyways, okay. So they had their own Christmas pageant, and the kids and everyone were a part of it. The Duggars were a part of it. Everyone played a part. The kids were a focal role in it. It was quite chaotic. But at the very end of this, they decided to present a gift to Mom and Dad Duggar. Now, what more perfect to present a gift to your parents when it's something that includes all of the children, all of the grandchildren that had been a gift that had included all of the grandchildren, so 2 photos of all of the grandchildren. What better decision to present this to Mom and Dad than on Counting On, when they have to blur out Israel and Samuel. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. So the photos are black and white stills of all of the kids, and they're all lined up. In the lineup, you can clearly see Samuel and Israel with blurs on their face, as though they don't exist. Now, obviously, it's as they don't exist on the show. In real life, their photos contain those people, but the fact that TLC blurred out Derek's and Jill's children, to me, is just I'm sure there might be a contract here that prohibits either Jill or Derek or their kids being shown on TV. Perhaps the Dillards have asked the children not to be on the show. Perhaps they don't want to see them on the show. But nonetheless, if you're going to give a gift that has all of the grandchildren, why not give it to your parents off camera, right? It just comes off really bizarre now, because now 2 kids who have a life off the show have been blurred out, and now all of us can see that they're blurred out. TLC wants us to erase the fact that there's 2 kids out there that were once a part of this show. Well, Samuel never was, but the oldest the girl, the daughter, Jill, was a focal part of Counting On. The primary reason the show started was because of her engagement to Derek and Jess's engagement to Ben. Well, in the world of TLC, Derek and Jill do not exist. Now, Derek and Jill say that they left the show on their own. TLC made an announcement that they had departed shortly after Derek had made some very distasteful comments, and I'm putting it mildly, about Jazz Jennings from I Am Jazz. That led a lot of people to believe that he had been fired by the network. Derek has asserted over and over and over again that they chose to leave because they were not being paid. Jim Bob had misled them. He had not disclosed information about contracts. He had lost out on job opportunities because of Jim Bob, because they didn't want to go in the same direction as the rest of the family. They were sort of in a position where they felt like they had to leave. And Jill, for her part, has now been in the better part of a few years going through therapy and learning about boundaries and learning how to take care of herself after spending her life in a fundamentalist cult, because that's what it is. So I was like a little bit shocked, but I guess not surprised. I mean, every time this happens, this is the second time. So Jill was in the episode, literally in an episode with Josiah and Lauren, and she's not on camera. Now they present a gift with all of the photos of all of the kids and they blur them out. And interesting to note, Josh's kids were not blurred out. So Josh isn't on the show. Anna hasn't even been on the show very much this year. I think Anna has shown up in one episode. That was it. Anna's really not on the show at all anymore. But Anna's and Josh's kids were not blurred out. You could completely see them. The only kids blurred out were Samuel and Israel. And my heart, like, this has to be confusing for Sam and Israel. Like, that's where my heart goes. Like, your family is maintaining this image where we only see what is on TV. We don't see what's going on behind the scenes. We already have heard so much about how Jim acts off camera, how this family is run, how it's very different, how it's not as wholesome as they would like to make you believe, but confusing for Samuel and for Israel. Because their family, their grandma and papa, or their pops and lolly, are on TV holding canvases of photos that they're on with their faces blurred out. It's like they're erased, their grandchildren have been erased. And some of you will say, well, they're not on the show, so of course they would do that. But at the same time, like, tell me a kid that sees this would not be confused by this, right? I don't know. So tonight's episode airs at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. If you want to catch it, you can catch it early on TLC Go or TLC.com. I would love to know what your thoughts are about the Duggars erasing their kids, their grandkids, from the show. Bye, guys.